Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Runjay Patel. Guys, in this video, I'm going to talk about in details about business rule, right? So whenever we are performing a CRUD operation, then there is only way to do so in ServiceNow, that is the business rule, right? We have an option like insert, create, delete, update. These all kind of operation we can achieve it via business rule. We will talk in details about business rule, but before that, it's my humble request, if you have not like and subscribe my channel, please do so, right? As of now, from this series, we have talked about client side scripting, but from here I'll be talking about the server side scripting. So now you came to know that business rule is a server side scripting, right? If you have not watched all the client side scripting video or the functionality or the concept which I have already covered, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can just look for the playlist called this one, ServiceNow tutorial 2024. So as of now 22 videos which I have uploaded, which was all related to ServiceNow fundamental. This business rule also comes under the ServiceNow fundamental, but this will come under the server side scripting, right? So if you have not watched, please go and complete the all 22 video and other video before watching this business rule, right? And for any documentation, you know that I have created a blog site, that is ServiceNow with Runjay.com. Here you just come and let's say if you are looking for business rule, then just type business over here, or business rule you just type over here. It will come all the article are related to business, correct? So as you can see here, display business rule in ServiceNow, async business rule, after business rule, before business rule. So these all type of business rule I have already created a blog post, right? So for documentation, many people are asking, hey Runjay, please share me the document which you are referring. So you can just come over here and you can have a look. Fine, so let's start now. So how we will create a business rule? First of all, let's understand what is business rule and what's the purpose of writing a business rule, right? What kind of business rule we have to write, correct? These all question will be there in your mind. So first of all, this is the very important concept for your interview also. Like the interviewer will ask you what is business rule. You can just simply say that business rule is a server side scripting, and whenever we require to perform any CRUD operation, we can write a business rule. We have a 4 type of business rule: create, insert, update and delete, and display business rule, correct? So this way you can give them the answer, then they will ask a little bit in details, like what type of business rule you have rated, what is async business rule, what is a delete business rule, what is update, before, after. All these things they will ask you in the combination of operation as well as the CRUD operations, right? Type of the business rule, sorry. So let's start how we will create. So basically the configuration which we are applying, as of now we have seen that we have to apply on the table. So business rule, if you are writing, then definitely you have to apply on the table. Then how you will do so? So there are two way: either write business rule in the left navigation and just scroll down and go under the system definition over here, okay? So in this section you just go and you can click the business rule. Fine. So once you click here in the business rule module, then you will be presented with the business rule table, which will have all the business rule created as of now in the system, right? So if we want to create our own, then we have a new button over here on the top right hand side, as you can see here. Then we will click on the new button. a new form will open for us, right? So this is the form where we have to fill in our details. That means what kind of business rule we are going to write, right? The second way, as you know, like the way I like it, if I want to apply a business rule on incident table, first I open an incident, then go to configuration, and then I will click on the business rule. It's up to you how you are going. Okay, so only the benefit you will be getting from coming from here, that by default table will be selected. Fine. So same form will appear, as you can see here. This is also same, this is also same. Only difference is here incident is selected, here table is not selected anything. Fine. So first let's understand each attribute which is present on the form while creating a business rule. Name. So let's name is the first attribute on the business rule record, that specify what kind of business rule you are writing and what's the purpose of writing this business rule, right? So let's say you are writing to update the record on certain condition, they just write a update inc when priority is low, right? So this is just the example I have given. So this is the name, but you have to give a name, something which will explain, self-explanatory name you have to give, so that later on developer who are doing a troubleshooting in future, they will come to know, okay, while seeing the name itself, okay, this business rule is written for what purpose, right? So give the name, proper name, right? Application, we are creating this business rule under the global application. Active, again active means it will work, it will apply the rule, else it won't apply if you will make it inactive. Then fine. As of now, if you are not selecting advanced, then only you will have a two option, when to run and action, what action you want to perform. So select here advanced option, so then you will have a new option called over here advanced. It will give you option to write your script basically, right? Now when to run, basically it will tell, we are going to tell to system, that means I want to run this rule, business rule, based on the certain condition. Let's say first let's understand what is the when over here. When we have a 4 option, then this is the interview question. Basically they will ask you type of business rule, then you have to tell that there are 4 types of business rule: before, after, async and display, right? So these are the 4 type of business rule, and right side you can see here insert, update, delete and query, right? So these are the operations, but type of business rules will define over here. 4 types of business rules are there in ServiceNow, but right side insert, update, delete and query is the operation which we will perform. I was talking about the CRUD operation, right? That one. So let's say we want to apply this business rule before insert and update. This is a very common. Before insert or update means before inserting or updating a data into a database, just before we want to apply this rule, whatever the action we want to perform, that we will see that. But when this will run, we are telling to the system, if you are updating or inserting any record into incident table, then please consider this rule in action, right? So now before insert and update. Order means if you have written a multiple business rule with the different order, then a lower order will execute first and higher order will execute later. So let's say we have written a 2 business rule, one is having 100, one is having 200, then 101 will execute first and 201 will execute later one. So lower order will have the highest priority for the execution. Again here, based on the incident table selected over here, for filter condition it will come when you want to apply. If you want to apply some condition over here, you just put the condition, like let's say active is true, right? Fine. Now if you want to apply, if certain role it will be having, then you just select the role. Okay, this is the very exceptional case, but if some scenario will come, then you should know that means we do have an option to select the role in order to apply the business rule. Fine. So now you understood when to apply. We have these many options. So let me explain other step as well, right? Like don't worry guys, I will be explaining each type of business rule in details in upcoming video also. This is just for high level, that what are the parameter we have to consider while writing a business rule. So insert and delete, I have just explained that before insert and before delete, because we have selected over here before. Let's say if someone is deleting the record, and before deletion, if we want to perform some action, then we will just select when before delete, right? And then query business rule, basically display business rule we have, async business rule we have, and after business rule. So query means let's say the very good example I will give you, a before query. Okay, this is the very common business rule we will write whenever we want to control over the data for displaying. I will give you, once I will talk the before business rule in details, that means what kind of scenario we can use the before business rule, right? So here the query itself it is telling when on if you are on the incident form and you are just clicking on the list view basically over here, then before querying, before this is basically a query, right? It will, once we will reload, it will query and it will give us given the all incident active is true, right? This is querying from the table. So same thing here we are doing. Before querying, if we want to apply some logic, then we can perform that. Hope you are clear all the operations over here. Right, now let's jump back to action. So let's say let's take a scenario before insert and delete. What action we want to perform, what are the options we have? Let's say set field value. So if we want to set any field value, let's say if we want to set the assignment group, some assignment group, I'm just selecting random assignment group. So if this condition met, insert and delete and active is true, then straight away I want to select the update this group. Basically this is not the right, I have just taken for the example. Let's say you have level 1, level 2 and level 3 support team. Then if all the incident, if you want to assign to support one team, tier 1 team basically, then you just default it to the tier 1 team. This is the one way. Other way also we are having to default to a certain group. We will talk later, but in this scenario, just let's say we are setting the value to app engine admins, right? We do have other options, like we can set all the field as many as we want, right? Fine. Now let's understand what is add message. Okay, so if we will write any message over here, then once this business rule run and it executed successfully, then if you want to throw a message, like when insert or update happen, then it will show some message on the top, right? That record has been updated successfully, something like that. Then that message you can write it over here if you want to give a message to your user, right? Action abort is something that if we want system to check if certain condition met, then it should not perform the operation basically. So let's say if we want, I will just take one scenario when we will go for the abort action. So let's say if someone is updating a record, okay, so before updating I'm just applying, and a state is false, and basically the closed one, basically, right? So a state is false and sorry, active is false and a state is, let's say, closed, right? If someone is trying to reopen the incident, if it is already closed, on that case what we have to do, we have to stop it. Basically your client is saying, hey, if ticket is already closed, if someone is trying to reopen it, then just write a simple, this is the business rule you have to write. That is the perfect example which I have given, that active is true, a state is sorry, active is false, a state is closed, then just set a abort action, and here you just set a message, you cannot reopen a ticket if it is already closed. Or you can just simply write a message, ticket has been already closed, if you still have issue, please reopen a different ticket. So that user will come to know, that means okay, so ticket is already closed, now we cannot reopen it, so we have to create a new ticket. Correct? So that is the abort action which will help you. Now finally we have advanced options, right? So let's say advanced options, we want to perform some logic over here. Based on the logic we want to update the field. Let's say we don't want to update the field like this. Let's say based on the category and subcategory, we want to do a glide record on the table, and we want to get the mapping. Let's say we have created a separate custom table. Over there we have maintained the mapping based on the location, based on the time zone. We have to assign a group. On that case definitely we have to write a glide record, right? To glide record, and based on the certain condition you just get the output from here, and then finally set the value, right? So let me explain you the object, by default object which we are getting in the business tool. First of all, this is a server side script, so your GS, all this thing will work. Current will give you the current record of sysid. Okay, so let's say we are on this form. If we are updating, then you will get a current as a sysid of this one. Fine. So current and the previous, okay, so current and the previous, current record, and this will give you the previous value, basically current. Or if let's say object means these are two objects, so it will give you the, let's say if you are going with the current dot number, then it will give you the this number. But if we want to check what was the previous value of caller, right, then you have to check previous dot caller, then you will get a previous value of the caller, right? Hope you got it. So based on this you just write a logic. In upcoming video I will talk about these all four type of business rule one by one, okay, with the real world scenario. But here in this video I have just tried to explain each attribute details, what it does. Basically I have tried to explain to you. I hope it is clear. If it is not, then you just leave a message, I will try to clear you. Okay, fine. Thank you. Thanks for watching. If you have not liked and subscribed, please do so. Thank you. See you in the next video.